Hello, and welcome to our Innovation Women webinar series. My name is Bobbie Carlton. I'm the founder of Innovation Women. Innovation Women is a visibility bureau for entrepreneurial, technical, and professional women. Our mission is to eliminate the all male, all pale, and often all stale panels you see so often at industry conferences and events. We connect women with speaking opportunities and we connect event managers with awesome speakers who just happen to be women. Innovation Women is so much more than a traditional speakers bureau. Event managers can search the database for free, and speakers pay just $100 a year to become a member. They get a profile on the platform and access to lots of speaking opportunities, as well as a number of other cool benefits. Here are just a few of the great features on Innovation Women. You can check it out at innovationwomen.com. Event managers and our research team share hundreds of calls for speakers. Speakers can apply for speaking opportunities on the platform and search for opportunities by topic, industry, and location. If you are interested in Innovation Women, here is a special code for attending today. You can get 20% off your first year by using the discount code IWWebinar, all in capital letters, innovationwomen.com. This year, our Ask an Event Manager webinar series provides live Q&A opportunities to talk to event managers and the inside scoop on speaking at virtual and online events. If you have questions you want us to be asking those event managers, you can email them to us at info@innovationwomen.com. And before we get started with today's presentation, I encourage you to register for our next webinar. On May 26th, we'll have the founder of Women in Cloud with us. Not only is Chai a world-class speaker, she is an inherent problem solver dedicated to ensuring an inclusive technology industry and economy. Women in Cloud, an economic development organization, is committed to generating $1 billion in global economic access for women technology entrepreneurs. It's her brainchild and has already generated over $80 million in economic impact. You can register for this webinar in the attachments tab. There is a link. And also, before we get started today, this is an annotated version of your screen. Below the video viewing window, there are tabs. The default tab is Ask a Question, and you can ask a question at any time. The attachments or links tab is where you'll see documents and links from today's speaker. That is me. And the link to sign up for our next webinar. You can download the attachments at any time from the webinar and from the recording. The tab called Rate This helps us determine what you like. We read all the feedback, and you can enlarge your screen to view it in full screen mode at any time. If you need audio help or the screen freezes, try refreshing the screen first and then click on the help button at the bottom of the screen. Today's webinar is being recorded, so if you'd like to view it again, you can, and we send you the link after the webinar. So now on to today's presentation. And let's get started. My name again, Bobbie Carlton. I'm the founder of Innovation Women. And today we are going to take a look through Innovation Women and give you a quick introduction. I like to think of it as your path to the stage. So I'd like to start off by asking you all to close your eyes and imagine that you're going to an industry conference or an event, maybe an actual one in person. And does the first panel of experts look like this? We call it the all male, all pale, and all stale panel. And it's what we see so often at industry conferences and events because 2/3 of all the speakers are men. So conferences and events, they have a problem. It's a visible problem. a very, very visible problem, and it's really a reflection of the industry as a whole. It's so bad that it is mocked on social media. This is a screen from the Tumblr. Congrats, you have an all-male panel. And Mr. Event Manager, you get a big thumbs up from David Hasselhoff for your all-male panel or your manel. Again, Bobbie Carlton. I have a day job. I run a PR and marketing firm. My night job is running Mass Innovation Nights in the Boston market, a new product launch event. But Innovation Women is my dream job. And my goal in my dream is to get you on stage. And I will tell you right off the bat, I'm not a comfortable public speaker myself. I'm definitely an introvert, but years of practice and realizing the benefits of public speaking made me stand up and say yes to public speaking. It's an important part of your business and your career development. Every time we get a chance to speak on stage, we gain visibility, and this visibility drives opportunities for us as business people, professional women, and it enhances your career. So let's jump in and take a quick look at those benefits of public speaking. We're going to go through just a quick presentation, and then we're going to jump right into the Innovation Women website and take a look around. So, we talk about the 5 C's of public speaking, the benefits of public speaking. Number 1 is career. When you are doing public speaking, you are able to demonstrate your competence in your job, your expert status, and your knowledge of a subject, something employers love to see. Another thing employers love to see is the second C. Employers love confident employees, and public speaking allows you to demonstrate your confidence. The third C is cold hard cash. One of the things we know is that if you are uncomfortable with public speaking, you take a hit right in the pocketbook. So if you are a comfortable public speaker, you are contributing to us equalizing pay for all women. So public speaking can help us equalize pay. The fourth C is connections. When you are doing public speaking, you are making connections. And it's not just the people in the room when you do that public speaking. If you think about it, everyone who's in the audience has their own connections. And these days, we are connected to so many people via social media. If I happen to say something particularly brilliant, you might share it on Twitter or put a post on LinkedIn or share it on Facebook. Maybe even take a picture of the screen and post it somewhere. And even if you are not into social media, you might just tell somebody, I saw a great speaker. She had a great message. So you're making those connections not only to the people in the room, but the people they're connected with. The second part of those connections is what we see that comes about through marketing. If you are a speaker at an industry conference or an event, they are using your name, your company name, and your topic or area of expertise as part of their marketing materials. They're sending out email blasts. They are using social media marketing. Maybe they're even putting up ads, and they're using your name and your company name and showing people that you know a lot about your target area of expertise. And the fifth C is credibility. When you are on stage, people look at you as an expert. They think that you've been vetted, that you know more than they do. You're seen as a thought leader. And this is an important part of the credibility you build by being a public speaker. And let's face it, there are so many opportunities for public speaking. Pandemic aside, COVID aside, there are a ton of opportunities. Pre-pandemic, there were more than 50,000 TEDx speakers. Eventbrite sold tickets to more than 3 million events, and there were 500,000 meetups that happened every month, to say nothing of the 92,000 professional organizations that are holding events on a regular basis and bringing in speakers. Events is a $37 billion industry, and that means that there are lots of great speaking opportunities for you and for me. Now, we all know what happened little over a year ago, and the new normal is, I hope, crossed fingers, upon us soon. But back a year ago, event managers only really had three choices. They could cancel, postpone, or go virtual. What that means is increased opportunities for you. You no longer had to look just in your backyard or be prepared to travel. But it also means that a lot of speakers said, up, no more speaking opportunities. So decreased competition is part of those benefits. Now, a lot of people think about public speaking and they just see the lone speaker on stage, the keynote or the featured speaker. But I will tell you, there are so many opportunities to be a panelist, to be a co-presenter or a guest lecturer, or maybe the moderator or MC at an event. You can also start by asking a question from the audience. If you're nervous at all about public speaking, asking a question from the audience is a great way to get started. You're talking to the exact same audience that the speakers from the stage talk to. You usually get to tell your name, who you work for, put it into context, a little bit about what you do, and then ask your questions. So you're demonstrating your knowledge of the topic. So if you're at all nervous about public speaking, remember, audience questions are also a brand of public speaking, and it gets you the practice and it gets you the visibility. So say yes to public speaking. So we're going to stop the slides, and what we're going to do is we're going to hop into Innovation Women. Also, while we get the chance, say hi to my friend Christine. Christine runs our webinar series, and she's here to manage the questions. Christine, I don't know if there's any questions that we want to answer before we jump into the demonstration.
We have tons of questions already from the audience. Okay. I don't know if you want to save these until the end, and then maybe more questions will come in with the demo.
So I see, yeah, let's jump into a few of those, and then we'll jump into the demo.
Sure. Right. So the first question we have is, how flexible should I be when it comes to asking to be paid to speak?
I think a lot of that depends on what stage of speaker you're in. If you have been speaking for a long time and you're speaking to events that are paying speakers, you absolutely should be paid. But you do have to understand what the situation is with speaking and getting paid to speak. Half of all event managers have no budget whatsoever for speakers. They're an industry conference or an event, and the way they look at it, they're putting you in front of an audience that is filled with your customers. So the way they look at it, it's probably like, why aren't you paying me? So you have to really understand the business model, and also if anyone is getting paid before you think about demanding getting paid. Think about also as well what you get out of public speaking. If you are selling your services or your expertise, it may be worthwhile for you to have that stage versus a paycheck. And you may be making far more off of selling your consulting services than you would for being paid as a speaker. So there is a couple of really great articles. I think in our link today, there is an article link off to the speaker resources on Innovation Women. And there are 2 articles specific to getting paid to speak. Okay. And next one.
Great. So the next question we have is about, with all the changes in COVID restrictions lately, are we seeing more live events on the platform?
Yes, we are. We are also getting to the to the time frame when we're seeing more event managers put out calls for speakers that are in 2022 and even 2023. So they're far enough out in advance when we're seeing a lot more in-person events. And also, it depends on kind of where you are. So different locations are opening up, but there's still going to be a sizable lag. And I also feel like there's going to be a sizable group of event managers who are saying, this has been working out pretty good for me. I'm gonna stay virtual and I'm gonna stay online because it allowed us to serve a much larger audience than we were doing with our live events. So there's also a group of kind of major players in the events world who openly said, we will not be doing events before 2022. And, they're going to wait and see. There's a big, long gap in terms of the planning process and the bookings for a live event. So I think it's more a case of we're far enough out from 2022 where we're starting to see the calls for speakers for that time period. So we will see more of those.
Great. The next question we have is, what do I do if I can't find anything that fits what I speak about on the platform?
Okay, so that means you are probably searching by topic, and you have to understand that the event managers generally only put in like maybe 4 or 5 topics. So even though dozens of topics could be appropriate, they're only putting in the top level ones. So sometimes you need to go and look at the actual calls for speakers. And also, if you're not finding what you need, ask us. We'll put it on the list for the research team and we'll get them searching for you. All
Great.
right. Are
Our
we
next
good?
question is, we have many more. I don't know where, if you want to jump into the demo, we can come
Okay.
back to some of these questions as well.
Give me one more. Let's take one more.
Okay. Our next question says, I'm new to public speaking. What should I expect as I get started? Do you have any recommendations as to how often I should be responding to calls for speakers?
In general, calls for speakers are a crowded place, unless you're a CTO of a cybersecurity company, and then you've got all the choices you want. Uh, just kidding a little bit. But I think there are lots of opportunities for public speaking. And generally, it's kind of a 1 in 10, 2 in 10 in terms of how many yeses you will get for the number of applications you submit. We generally figure 1 in 10 or 2 in 10 if they are the appropriate abstract for a conference or an event. We work with a lot of event managers who tell us that they are getting 10, 20 times the number of applications that they need for the opportunities. I was talking to one event manager who told me they got 900 applications for 40 speaking slots. So, and I think one of the hardest things for the event managers is turning down really amazing, awesome presentations just because they don't have enough room. So, if you are applying for one of those types of presentations, it's not you, it's them. And there may be an opportunity for you in terms of creating your own speaking opportunities and also looking at some of the visibility opportunities that we offer to our speakers. So if you might not be aware of it, but we actually bought a magazine last summer called Lioness Magazine, and we're always looking for contributors to that. So that's another great visibility opportunity that we have for our members. So, all right, I think it's probably a good opportunity to jump in to the demo area. So I'm going to do a quick screen share. And if you have not been, that was fun. All right. If you have not been on the Innovation Women platform, this is just a great opportunity to take a look around. Number one, we have a ton of resources on the platform available to everyone and anyone. So if you click on the speaker resources, it will take you to a list of articles and educational information about being a public speaker. We also have tutorials on how to use the site. We have recommendations in terms of optimizing your profile. We also have a really cool little benefit for our speakers who are also authors. So we have our own bookstore. And being an author and being a speaker often go hand in hand. So we have a bookstore for our speakers to sell their books. So this is just a little bonus thing that we do. And if you sign up for our newsletter, you will probably get some information about our summer reading program. So when you go and sign in, you are going to start off by creating a platform or a profile on the platform. So this is my profile, and I have a headshot that event managers can just grab and use. I have my biography, again, easy for an event manager to copy and paste into their materials. I have a video of myself speaking. I obviously have used my TEDx video here, but I also have a video from Answer Stage. And Answer Stage is the app that we use to allow our speakers to create a virtual speaker ready sizzle reel. So the Answer Stage app is something that we offer for our speakers because a lot of event managers look at a speaker and they say, oh, she looks great live and on stage, but how is she in front of a camera? So the Answer Stage virtual speaker videos allow us to demonstrate our virtual speaker chops. You'll notice I also have a list of topics that I speak on, my best story, origin story, and a number of example talks. This is part of how I demonstrate to event managers the types of things that I speak on. As an event manager will get a view that looks something like this. They have a number of ways to filter the speakers and look for people who can talk about specific topics. Most event managers come in and they start looking on a specific topic. So I speak about marketing. So I'm going to look into marketing. And as I start typing in, you'll notice that a number of different keywords start to pop up. And what that does is it tells us what's in the system. An event manager or a speaker has put that keyword in. And if I'm looking for a speaker to talk about digital marketing, we have a number of different options. And once we go in, we can pick a speaker and look at their profile. So Caitlin's profile, oh, she's got a video. Video definitely helps you. Her topics, her story. We need to get Caitlin working on her example talks. But we also ask our speakers to give us information about whether they are willing to travel and how far, and when it comes to payment. So they get an option. I sometimes get paid. I always get paid. I usually get paid, but I make exceptions. I speak primarily for visibility for myself and my company, and everything's negotiable. And that tells an event manager, hey, if I don't have a budget, I'm not going to bug somebody who says I always get paid to speak. So it saves us all in wasting a lot of time. Now, if you're a speaker, this next area is where you need to be paying attention. So we have a number of speaking opportunities, and this allows us to go and check out what's available. These are calls for speakers. So each page has 20 opportunities on it, and we have 11 pages. Doing the math, that's what, 220 opportunities right now on the Innovation Women platform. Waiting for you. We need more women at these conferences and events. Again, my topic is marketing. So I'm going to go look for marketing opportunities, and all of these cool opportunities are waiting for me. Actually, this is also a great demonstration. You'll notice that a number of them have actually physical locations that they are listing in terms of event locations. So that's super exciting. And we can go and we can check out this and we can apply to be a speaker. So maybe the American Marketing Association in Chicago needs you. I'm going to definitely apply to this one. So that just gives you kind of a quick overview of how Innovation Women works. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and come back because, oh my goodness, we have many, many more questions. Yikes. Christine, what's our next question?
So we have someone asking, is there a specific number of applications that you recommend in order to improve my chances of getting a speaking opportunity?
I think some of it comes down to it depends. There's always that answer. But, if you have applied for 10 opportunities and gotten 0 response, come talk to us. I mean, we can take a look at your applications. We can give you some suggestions. I also usually recommend that people get someone else to proofread their materials and just take a look at it in terms of you know what you wanted to say, but maybe the other side doesn't know yet. So if you've applied 10 times and heard nothing, give us a yell and we'll take a look at it for you. We also have weekly drop-in office hours on Zoom, and it's not unusual for people to bring in challenges and problems and get the feedback of a group of experienced speakers.
So following up with that Zoom that you mentioned, someone wants to know if you have any recommendations of places they could go to network with other speakers.
Absolutely. So Friday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern time, we have a group drop-in time, generally anywhere between 20 and 40 people. I've also been recommending Clubhouse. So we have a Friday afternoon Clubhouse at 3 p.m. Eastern, but there are lots of great speaker groups on Clubhouse. And I feel like every time I go in, I'm finding out new stuff, and I've been doing this for a while. So Clubhouse and obviously our platforms.
And someone here asked, how does the rise of those audio-only platforms you mentioned, like Clubhouse, impact this industry and the platform?
Yeah, the whole rise of the audio only thing has been unbelievable. Between Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces, we're seeing so many more super interesting panels coming up because that's really what these are. They're often group opportunities to have a conversation, to express your expertise. They're not necessarily really good for one person doing a speech, but they are really excellent for panel conversations.
Great. Our next question is, do you offer an accountability group? I need some motivation, smiley face.
We've been talking about this for a while, and actually our customers slash partners slash friends did it before us. So we have a group that stays after on Friday morning. So basically it starts at 10 a.m. and they do the work. So the first day that I stuck around for it, they were all busily working on their profiles. The next time they were working on doing their answer stage videos. And the next time they were applying for speaking opportunities. I'm not going to kid you. This is not magic. You have to do the work. You have to do the work to brand yourself and work on your expertise and your craft, as well as applying for speaking opportunities. But people who treat it as another business, it's really a sales process, do really well.
Great. We have someone that wrote in and said, "Hi, I'm a 20-year HR expert, spoken to military spouse groups about career transitions, and now have an expertise in Chapter 13 bankruptcy administration. When a group just wants a human resources, what do I pitch? I'm pretty much a generalist."
Wow, so many great experiences there. I find that the most success that you would probably have in that would be to talk to them about what they have a need for. Ask them what you do. What you do can answer what questions for them, and work with the event managers. I feel like a lot of times speakers want to just throw something over the wall and run away and hear back later. But working closely with an event manager, I feel like you can really home in on a great presentation. If you don't have the opportunity to work with the event manager to come up with a really perfect for them thing in terms of a pitch, look in their history, look at what other things they've done in the past and find where the gaps are. Look for the holes. And you don't want to pitch the same thing that they were presented with last month. You want to come up with something new.
Great.
And the
Another
others?
question here is there a way to tell which opportunities pay on the platform?
Oh, so frustrating. It's frustrating for us too. So the overall numbers are half of all event managers have no budget. We know that. But 42% of event managers pay some speakers. They have money for keynotes, they might have money for featured speakers, or, and this is so frustrating, they have money for some people. And often they say, "Oh, I have a little bit of money in case I need to pay for somebody." So that's where it gets kind of sticky. And it's one reason that a lot of event managers are very cagey about whether they pay or they don't pay. So what happens is they have money for the speaker that they really want who demands to be paid. So everywhere else, they're looking to not pay so they don't tell anybody they're paying or not paying. So only 8% of event managers pay all or most of their speakers, and they're really crowded in a couple of specific areas: corporations, and often universities, but only specific opportunities at universities. So we don't have a way on the Innovation Women website to tell who pays and who doesn't pay. One of our other companies, My Speaker Leads, what we're doing with that brand is we are offering 100 leads a week to our customers. And we're trying to, as much as we can, to focus in on paid opportunities. So what we're doing there is we are addressing the space where in the past that organization has employed speakers who get paid. That doesn't say they pay everybody. It doesn't say they're going to pay you, but in the past they have demonstrated that they had budget because the people they put on stage are paid speakers. I know that sounds really convoluted, but it is super hard to tell. As well, some events are changing the way they address that. So, very rarely will there be a public declaration of we pay our speakers. And by the way, there's zero correlation between the relative wealth of the organization and who pays and who doesn't. What you really need to do is understand the business models to determine who pays and who doesn't pay. All right. Any other questions?
Yes, we have a couple more.
Okay.
One says, "Help, my profile does not look as professional as yours, and I think my bio and sample talks need some help. Any advice?"
Oh, we can help you. Come to the Zoom call on Friday. And if you're not in the right time zone, wake up early. No, I'm only kidding. Number one, we have the optimization tab. So there is a profile optimization article on the website, as well as there's a tutorial. I'm not here to upsell you, but we do have a service where our team will actually create your profile for a fee. We try to discourage that though, because I have to admit, it's like, you know yourself best. And it's something that I think every speaker, as they're developing their brand, they are internalizing a lot of the things that they use when they're on stage. And if you are really strong in terms of your brand, you know the questions people ask and the things that are important to them. Yes, we can help you with the mechanics of putting up a video and a picture and things like that. But often it comes down to, what do you speak about and how you present yourself as a brand, because you are a brand. So we can absolutely help you. And the accountability group, right after our group Zoom call, the working on the profile is absolutely one of the things that they've done.
Great. Someone says, if I have more questions after this webinar, is there someone I can reach out to for assistance?
Absolutely. Send a message to info@innovationwomen.com and we will get on the phone right quickly back to you. So we also now have a little cute pop-up web chat on the website that's manned between 9 and 5 weekdays. So if somebody is available, you can just drop them a note. All right. Is that it on our questions today?
Yes, I think we answered everybody's. If
Yay.
anybody has any additional ones to add in, please do so now.
Okay. Well, I think we are going to be heading off. I wanted to make sure we weren't staying here too long. Thanks for your assistance, Christine.
Thank
That
you.
was awesome. And I hope everyone else has a fantastic day. We are off to look for more speaking engagements for you. And if you come to innovationwomen.com and sign up for the newsletter, every single week we share at least 5 free speaking opportunities. So sign up for the Innovation Women newsletter and say yes to public speaking. So we did a demo today. Also want to mention Lioness Magazine, which is a great opportunity for our speakers to write articles, contribute to articles, and get more visibility. As well, we also own another company called My Speaker Leads, and myspeakerleads.com delivers 100 leads every single week. And again, we focus on opportunities from organizations that have used paid speakers in the past. And again, if you are interested in joining Innovation Women, use the code IWWebinar for 20% off your first year. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and good luck and good speaking.